I was really pumped for the fans here for today. And so a win here, I felt them, I heard it. And so I thought that was like just really cool to start that relationship together with the team in the city. So that was cool. I thought going into it, we know the turnover battle would be a big piece of this. It's how we want to play as part of our identity. And so to win the turnover battle, I thought was big. I really felt Brian Robinson was a real factor in the run game today, and just we know that he is, but that felt good. And then I thought, um, Noah Brown, his first time as a commander, making some plays, but I think the story of the game certainly goes to Austin, and to have a franchise record in your very first game, that's a big deal. So it's not easy going into a new locker room without all the time and chemistry with everybody. So I thought for him and Tress, and they really did a good job of helping him get there. So I thought that was the story of it, going down, all the way to the end to get ready to go, kick the game winner. I thought that was a big deal. So at the end, when winning time came, I thought that was a real factor. The wind knocked out of him. No, I wouldn't say I had concerns. I mean, it's obviously going to be a story that we're going to keep working through. We don't want the hits, so I'll look at the tape and probably have a better assessment for you on that tomorrow. I think probably in this one there was 4 that were called that he could have a read off of it, one that he checked into. So I'll take a look and have a sense for that. But yeah, he was good to go.
Coach, obviously you want touchdowns every time you get down the field, but
yes,
how much encouragement can you take out of 7 scoring drives in one game?
I think the other part that I can take out is just the time of possession. That's what happens in those moments. We wanted to be aggressive. We had some 4th down opportunities that we were going to go. And so we thought we wanted to play fast and start fast. At the end of it, you're right. And I thought the penalties were, the real story that knocked us out of some, from plays when hey, it's 2 downs from here, or, a penalty that could knock you out. Now you're looking at a completely different situation. But I thought those are things that we've got to be able to clean up. You've heard me say before, the combative ones, we're going to continue to teach and go with, but pre or post snap, those are the ones that we got to get out of our game. And so we'll work hard to do that.
Coach, is there anything in particular to take out of the fact that Jaden, through 2 games as a rookie, has no interceptions?
Yeah, there's a lot. I think he has a real conscience for the ball and security for it. That was one of the things that made him so unique coming out of college. That many touchdowns for that many interceptions. And so he has a real mindset about it. It's a really important thing for us, taking care of the ball. And so that was a real factor today in the turnover battle. Yeah, 0 tape. That's all Adam right there. And I just hit him afterwards. Like, really good job by him and his staff. We knew we weren't going to stop competing, to get it right. You've heard us talk about that and how important that is. And so it's not easy, to do that. And I remember talking to Tress and to Tyler. I said, you've done a good job with the people that have come in. It's not always easy to new people, new chemistry, new things to go. But we're going to get it right. It's going to stick. And I was pleased for them, but I recognize it's not always that easy to do. But that was all Adam, 100%, 0 tape end on my end. But it was really cool to know for a player who was not playing last week to come in and have the type of day he did. Like, not easy to do. So definitely worth recognizing.
How do you guys feel about where you're at corner right now with the 2 guys who had to play today?
Yeah, I would say we're still undecided would be the answer I would give to you. Just like any other position, we're just going to keep competing to find the right answer and the right people to put into those spots. We felt it was the best to make a switch during the game today, and so that's why we did that. By no means does that mean we're through or that. Like, I don't want in this day and age to be that. I do want to say, but we're always going to find what's the best to win for today, and so that was an example of that today.
Going back to Seabert real quick, you guys didn't have a full kicker workout after the previous game. Like, you signed him the day after. Had you seen him before?
Yes, we'd actually, and you have too. New York Jets. So in the rain, hitting some big ones, and I remember on the other field they were making them, and on the field we were at, we didn't have the best day. And so he was one of the players that we had targeted if we were going to do something. And so it was part of that process from all the way back. We had a good evaluation of him at New York.
And the tandem of Eckler and Robinson. I mean, how have those two been together, just away from the field, from what you see, and sort of their chemistry together?
Yeah, Austin's such a excellent teammate, and it was part of the reason why we wanted him here so badly, as the complement to B Rob into that space. They're different, but on the field together, they just are really competitive in like a really good way, Nikki, in terms of support for one another. I was bummed for Austin on the first one, to get a chance to get the one all the way back. Obviously, I didn't see the replay of it, of what they call it as a foul, but he's that type of player that can make those unique plays to do it, and he did it again today. The running backs are really equipped to make big plays. I think it'll probably level out as we go. What games needed more, what ones needed less on that. The benefit of some of the ones that are, extended play. Can he remain a passer on one versus that? Those are the things that he's going to learn. The receivers and tight ends and backs have done a good job when the second play begins to go do that, and we'll continue to work that. As far as the ones that he's designed to go, we prefer those be ones that it's a light box or different ones to go, and that's usually the case of what we're looking for. It's part of the advantage of being at the line of scrimmage and being able to change plays where you can try to find a look. Now the defenses are good too. They're going to show one look and play it another, and that's part of the gamesmanship of a disguise. And you have to be able to fight through some of that, although it's not what we want. Seeing a loaded box and an extra defender into there.
Hey, Coach, I know the last week it's been a message around finishing on the defensive side of the ball. I know you haven't had a chance to look at the film yet, but what are your just immediate initial thoughts on
Yeah, and I thought I was really pleased to see. I thought Ben made some plays on the ball at the end of going to finish. There was a cover 2-1 that was over on our sideline that I felt. And anytime you can, really strain and fight for it, I think that's good. I'll look at the tackling and get a better sense for that, Candy, of where we're at. But the finishing part of it, I thought the second half felt better as we were going through it compared to the previous game.
I know from an identity standpoint, you want to be aggressive. That's one of the main words that I think I would associate with what you want to be.
Yep.
How does that identity piece go into your decision-making about fourth downs versus analytics versus anything else you can do?
Yeah, I think it's probably a little bit of both as you're going through it. So we do want to be aggressive. So we communicate, what the situation is, what we would do into that spot, and then we kind of go through the week thinking that, what would be some third downs that would turn into fourth downs to go. So we like to give the play callers the information early to Cliff. So that way, if, fourth down, it's a go at this number or this number, and it's a kick at this one. So my main job is making sure Cliff knows exactly when and where, and the same thing with Larry, compared to a punt or a field goal at those numbers. So that way, we've already planned for that during the week. I don't want the game day ever to be a knee-jerk reaction. Hey, go for it, or get emotional about it. I want to be calculated, and this is, the decision we were going to make, including at the win. Do you have to go for a 2 to go win it, or take it into overtime? Those plays, you want to say, yeah, we've got a good call for that moment, and if it comes up, we're going to go nail it.
How did them not having a place kicker affect your decision-making today?
I did think that it would be different. It's a tough spot to be into. So when it goes into there, what thirds become fourth downs? Same thing with the scoring to go to it. So I thought we could have, knowing that going in, that's a big deal. And, they did a good job of fighting through it, from their end. 'Cause I think it might have been on the opening play, if I'm not mistaken. And so that's a tough go. You have to have those contingency plans. Who's the backup snapper, who's the backup punter, backup kicker, going through that, and you work through those to make sure you're always kind of have somebody in your back pocket ready to say, if this comes up, we'll be ready to deliver on that. So it's not what you want, but it is something that you have to plan for.
Dan, you got so many new people, staff, players, etc. How do you balance celebrating, enjoying your first win with maybe a win that throws some holes in there?
Well, I think we want to treat those two things the same as best as we can. I think the players saw last week there were lessons to learn, but the sky wasn't going to fall on Monday, and I was going to have a meeting and talk about it. And I'll do the same thing going into tomorrow to say on both of those, there's lessons to learn. And now can we apply them and go through it? So I think what you'll see is a really consistent approach by the team to get a division win. Like we talked about the importance of that and what it means. And I even showed some film of what the old history of this, to know where you want to go. You got to know, what's been here. And so, part of it had, Summerall and Madden talking about a game, and just, I wanted them to know we're now part of that, but we also get to write our own story about this division and what it can be. And so that was my message that I wanted to share to them last night. It's an honor to be a part of that, but it's a bigger honor to create your own story. But you do have to know where you've been to say, like to recapture, that kind of energy takes a lot. And we're up for that challenge.
Last one, then we got to be up.
Two unrelated questions. One, what were your thoughts and feelings coming off the field after the win kick? And then second, I know you said before that feel like you're a better coach now than you were in Atlanta. Can you go back either today or sometime this week where you made a decision or something, and it's hard to examine yourself, but maybe that you did better or differently than you would have, from any previous time?
Yeah. Getting a chance after, like I was thinking through the series as it's going, I thought a big rip from Jaden to Noah, to kind of put us down into that space. And now as we were going through the clock scenarios of what would happen, getting on the ball, getting the ball centered to where we'd go. And then I just took a couple of deep breaths, like, all right, Austin, like, here we go, man. So just watched it from our sideline, but a little bit further down the field. And I thought it was true right when he hit it. So that was awesome. Gave Adam a big hug, was pumped, that as much as didn't go well last week, we knew we could be a lot better than that in our game, but not to take anything away from Tampa. I want to make sure I'm super clear on that. But we did have to play more like us. And I felt like today had more of that, as opposed to me doing things. I think in game, that's where, I've got to make sure I'm really clear. And I was today, with the guys going, kicking, the scenarios, the penalties, really making sure that the game and clock management part is on point. That's my best way to affect the team and our play style. And I'll go do that.